Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to episode 13 of the Katie Loves Voiceplay podcast. Yeah, we're on episode 13, and forgive me if you hear me going a lot throughout the podcast episode here, because it's been crazy humidity here, and my nose and just my face hole in general has been getting affected by it. So if you hear me going a lot of or if I'm drinking a lot of water throughout this, then that's why. So it's a bit of a disclaimer. So episode 13, we are going to be talking about I Knew You Were Trouble / As Long As You Love Me mashup from Voiceplay. So this was back in 2013. So take that with what you will. That was a long time ago. That was very, very long time ago. And I just watched the video in 240p quality. So that really kind of puts an age on it, so to speak. So I just watched it because I wanted to get myself more familiar with it. And as I watched it, two things came to mind here. It's very simplistic, and it's a very kind of, as Jeff would say, in the air kind of a video. Like, I know that it was just something that, they had shot. You didn't need fancy sets. You didn't need, a lot of the stuff that they have now, because they were just kind of starting out when it came to, video production and whatnot. So a lot of it was just them sitting in front of microphones with a collaborator or two, or themselves, and just doing the thing. And, with this one, with Rachel Potter, I think that was kind of like an introduction, I can't speak today, to her. Because I think Rachel was on the X Factor at that point, I think. Because, I know that while they were doing the sing-off, she decided to do X Factor instead. So that was when she kind of, back and forth with that. But the amount of collaborations that they did do with Rachel, it's amazing. It's just, there's so many of them that are out there now. It's crazy. So, let me kind of get into the songs first. For me personally, do not like both songs. I do not like them. I do not know why. It's probably because I just don't like the artists. Unfortunately. I'm kind of a heavy metal alternative junkie, so I tend to go with rock and roll a lot more than I would pop or, just the music that came out at the time. So, yeah, there was that. It's so funny when I think about it now, because Voiceplay was a thing that I hadn't even been introduced to until maybe 2016, I believe. So, yeah, it's crazy because there's just so much stuff that was going on, and so many artists that I wasn't able to really discover at the time. So, I'm so glad that I'm into Voiceplay now, because they've changed my life, obviously. So there's that. So going back to the video, yeah, it's very simple. They have the megaphone to kind of amplify Rachel's vocals on certain things. It's just a very simple video. I can't really say a whole lot about it, because unless if you watch it for yourself, you can just see how simple it is. Lane manages to have a rap in there, and brilliant, very, very brilliant move on that specific moment. Okay, so let me just look at the description here real quick. Let me see if there's any key, oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so I completely read, okay, so it was an a cappella version of I Knew You Were Trouble, As Long As You Love Me, all around the world. So there's 3 different songs mixed into one. So that's interesting. And then they were going on tour in 2015. So, yeah, that's always interesting. So, yeah, it was Lane's arrangement, which, he did amazing job. Oh, they had Hannah on lead vocal arrangement. Edited and mixed. Oh, Lane edited and mixed that. Wait, what? Okay. Now I'm getting confused here. Special thanks to Sam Charles and the GOAT. I think somebody has to clue me in on this here, because I have no idea what that is. But anyway, yeah, it I would say it wasn't like my favorite video of theirs. No offense. I mean, it's like, you know, they've done amazing stuff, but it was just one of those ones where I was like, because I guess it's probably because my dislike of the songs, right? That it was just like, I can't really fall in love with this. But the more I listened to it, and with repeated listening, I'm like, oh, okay, actually this is really cool. Because I wasn't expecting Jeff to be doing a whole lot of the percussion part of it. Like, I mean, yes, he was doing the bass line, but he was also doing like chest percussion, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, well, this is new, this is different. And plus I wasn't very, you know, into acapella at the time. So when I discovered this one, I had already, my knowledge of acapella was very, 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 very small. So, I didn't really walk into a lot of these with like that open mind, you know, kind of scenario, because I was just like, I'm like, okay, I'm like, what can people do with two songs that I absolutely hate? And sure enough, they made it sound amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I keep forgetting that Tony did a lot of the art, like the iTunes artwork, because like this was back, you know, like when they were just babies. Like, even if you look at them in the video, they're just babies. You look at them now and you're like, oh, they've aged a bit. And by a bit, I mean a lot. But they've aged like fine wine, those boys. I mean, just being perfectly honest, they've aged like fine wines of the winery of, I can't think of a location, so I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm glad that they brought Rachel on this one because, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Because, yeah, I think it was just kind of a good move for them to classify, like, kind of show off her voice a little bit more, and just to see, you know, how she came into things and, like, what she could bring to the table. So it was pretty good, and I think people really enjoyed Rachel, because then they got to kind of spend a lot more time with her, because, like, they did Chandelier and a whole bunch of Christmas stuff with her, you know, eventually doing Moana. So yeah, Rachel is definitely a talent, and, you know, I think the more that they managed to work with her, the more that it managed to help her out, you know, get her a little bit into the scene. I don't know if I'm getting sick or what the hell is going on. It's just, this seems to be like the prime time for me to get colds. Actually, it's crazy because, side note, around this time last year, I had gotten a head cold. And then that was also when I had talked to Caesar for the first time. Yeah, he basically, the remedy that he suggested to me was to drink ginger tea and sleep. So, we'll probably try to do that. It's just so weird. Like, it's just... Actually, I'm reading through the comments on this video right now, and one person put it perfectly. Rachel's voice is just perfect. She has a very nice voice control, which she does. She has very good voice control, and I wish that I had her voice just for a day. Like, it's just, wow. She is freaking talented. Yes, she is freaking talented. So, the combination of Voiceplay and Rachel Potter is unbeatable. That is true. The combination of Jeff and Lane is simply amazing. Yes, I don't know. I don't think that's the thing. I really don't think, if you took Lane and Jeff out of the picture, I think Voiceplay probably would just die. Because, yeah. I mean, it just, I think, yeah, they would just die. Pretty much. I love watching the guys in the back. They add so much character that is hardly ever noticed, but it's still there and amazing. You can tell that they love what they do. That is true. Because even when you're watching this one, like, they're having so much fun with it. And it's like, we know that this is our job, but we also know that it's like, this is also a chance for us to have fun and kind of just do something that's different, and also just make it better than the original cover, which I absolutely love and enjoy. So, God, just to think that this is in 2013. Like, how old was I when it was 2013? I was about 19. Graduated in 2012 from high school. So yeah, that's been a while now. That's been, almost 9 years. That's ridiculous. Actually, it has been 9 years because this one was posted on March. So it's been 9 years since they did that one with Rachel. So yeah, Rachel and these guys just put Taylor and Justin Bieber to shame. It's true. It's really true. I think that's another reason why I like acapella so much, is just because even with Voiceplay in particular, they just managed to take songs that are extremely popular, and for somebody for myself that's not really particular with the song, they just manage to take it and change it into something that is just fresh, and it's just something that is like, okay, like, I kind of get an idea of what you're doing here, and then it's like they have that one moment within the arrangement itself that it's like, or like Jeff says, it's like moments that the original doesn't have, and then once that's put in there, it's like, well, wait, like, where is this coming from? What managed to make you come up with that? So, when those happen, I'm always very happy about it. Pardon me as I take a sip of water, because my throat is dry. But yeah, Rachel, outstanding. And once I kind of started to get more interested with Rachel, I continued watching all of the stuff that they did with Rachel. So I watched Chandelier, I watched, Moana, just everything and anything that they did with her. Attention really stood out to me. Just because, A, I was into Charlie Puth, and B, I was like, okay, well, like, what's this one about? And then sure enough, it's like, oh, okay. And now, every time I hear it, I will be humming that bass line throughout my day. If I've listened to it throughout the day, I will be humming that thing like crazy. So it's like, you guys have a lasting impression on me. And it's like, there are those songs that I'm just going to be singing and bopping away to, even when I don't expect myself to. So, oh yeah, this was back in the day when they only had Facebook, their general website, and then their Twitter. So Instagram wasn't really a big thing back in 2013. So that's interesting. Just to look at them back in 2013, so many changes, because like Earl and Tony were in the group and now they're not in the group. So it's like, oh, times have changed. Oh, the days of the youth of Voiceplay. Yeah, but with this video, I think it's very simplistic. It's very simple. And you just, because it's a short, I wouldn't say it's a short arrangement, because it runs about almost 4 minutes, which happens. And I think with like mashups and medleys specifically like that, it's like, how do you take 3 songs and put it into one arrangement? Like but I think that's just how Lane's mind works. Like, he just managed to take all 3 and like just smash them together into a pie. So it worked. Whatever they were doing, it worked. So Rachel is a gem. She just has amazing vocal prowess, and it didn't take much for me to get into acapella, because I was already into pentatonics, but then I don't even remember how I stumbled upon Voiceplay. Like, I mean, it was on Facebook, of all things. Back when I used to be on Facebook fairly regularly, but now I'm not. But yeah, like, this one's very simple, and it seems to be like a lot shorter than it is, but it's a very simple concept, visually, very simple concept, like, there's nothing really, there's a lot that you can focus on, and it keeps your attention, but it's not like big production based vid where it's like you got the lighting and you got the, like, you got characters and you got, transitional frame, like, that type of stuff, right? But yeah, I think that, because that was just kind of like the the ingredients of the Voiceplay stew, if you will, because it was like they're just trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. Also, they were doing the sing-off, so it was like video after video after video after video, so, you know, they just kept on popping them out just to get themselves out there, and it worked. It worked very well. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm running with a head cold here. Like, it's that time of year. Oh, God. Did you hear my water bottle go boop? Gives all the water that's in it. Well, even when I woke up this morning, it's like, my voice was just like, it wasn't even there. So I was like, should I be talking right now? Should I be resting? What should I be doing? So, I think after this episode, I'm not going to do a lot of talking. So, I'm going to try to run this out as much as I can here. So, I apologize for all the sniffling and sneezing and the me sounding a little bit more stuffy than usual. Ugh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Yeah, so, I knew you were trouble, as long as you love me, and all around the world. Yeah, I can't say more about it than that. It's just a very simple video. You know, interesting for the beginner work to get people's attention and just to have fun with it and just to see, you know, what could you do with an a cappella arrangement of those 3 songs, given the popularity that they were given, and make it into a different way that was very interesting to people. And they did fairly well, I will say. You know, like, everybody really, really liked it, so, yeah. I think, because, like, everybody's given Rachel love. And, yeah, like, they were giving Rachel a whole bunch of the love, so that was really, really good. Because I think, you know, it's like, with any collaborator, it's like, you want to show them off the most. And I think, you know, just to give Rachel a little bit more popularity, I think was the idea. So it's like, if we collaborate with her, she's going to be a little bit more known, because she's going to be a little bit more well known because she's worked with us. So, and it did the trick. So it's like, I've fallen in love with her, definitely. So, all that being said, before I lose my voice anymore, I am going to end this episode and possibly pop me a Zyrtec or something. Maybe an Ambien, who knows? Maybe both. No, don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. Don't mistake one for the other. Okay, so thanks for listening, guys. If I bored you to death, then that means that I've done my job. So, send me a suggestion on what you want to hear next. This is also the song series, so, you know, I'm going to be going through songs, and if you want one that you're dying to hear me talk about, please don't die, but, you know, send it my way, and I will make it happen. So, yeah, so there you have it. Thanks for listening, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.